Right. Oh, I'm saying. All right. Well. No echo. And Steve, we need a motion, right?
Yeah, so it's a motion to close and open the order.
Motion and executive session and open.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Back on the record.
Did we note that the house on the record? Did we note that there's
No. You guys should.
You don't have to see it.
Oh, okay. Hold sit here.
Can we fit in?
Put it on? He's probably fine. All right.
Here we go.
So now we are here to, the public, RPM projects, of which there are three. Okay, sorry, I jumped out of order. That's all right.
Mine to do the bill later.
Yeah.
So good evening, Chairman, members of the board, Craig Genetti, the law firm Dave Pitney, on behalf of the applicant Brook Road Urban Renewal LLC or Urban Renewal Associates LPs. This is a application for amended preliminary final site plan approval involving three sites that this board approved in 2024 affordable housing development. Consisting of 63 Bernards Avenue, 18 Mount Airy Road, and 163 Brook Road. Each received separate resolution approval, but we're proposing the amendment in connection with all three. The application is seeking revisions to mainly the architectural features of the building, which was presented to this board on October 23rd, 2025. I was not here, I was in South Carolina, but my colleague, Paul Magziak was here. And I did watch the hearing and what was presented and discussed at that meeting. Since that time, we did submit some revisions to the architectural plans to address some of the inconsistencies that were identified. We have our architect here this evening that can testify and answer those changes. We also met with Mr. Lincoln at the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee with respect to it and did receive a comment review letter from the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee dated November 5th, 2025. So in a moment, I'll have we'll come up here and testify as to the architectural plans that were submitted to the board. She also has some materials the board requested that we can mark in evidence and pass around for the board. I think one thing that's important to address with it, the two kind of main changes relate to the change from the fiber cement siding to the vinyl siding, and then also to the roofing type from the standing seam metal roof to the asphalt shingles. And then there were some other minor color changes to the building as well. All the changes that have been proposed conform to the zoning ordinance, conform to the design standards. We're not seeking any relief in connection with it. And further, I know it was explained at the last meeting that the reasons for the changes were in connection with effectively cost overruns in connection with the project. As you are aware, this is a municipally sponsored 100% affordable housing development. Even though it's on three separate sites, it's considered one project with respect to the low-income housing tax credits and as one municipally sponsored project. And so in consultation with the borough with respect to this project, we made these revisions. Since it is municipally sponsored, it is a collaborative process with respect to it. So we explained the reasons why the changes were made, but the cost in those cost overruns are not the basis for why we're seeking approval here tonight. The basis is because it conforms to the zoning ordinance and it conforms to the design standards. And actually, that's even acknowledged in Mr. Lincoln's review letter with the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. So unless there's any procedural or housekeeping question with me, I'd like to call our architect up to address.
This one procedural, I think you mentioned this, if the architect could expedite it by outlining the changes to what he's done for the prior, what's the delta? Then we don't need a representation of the.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna have her go through all the changes that were done. It was more the changes that were done.
Yeah, not the original changes, what's been done since the 23rd is, I guess.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I have her, that's fine.
Reaffirming, that's what you said.
Mr. Chairman, just a couple of procedural issues real quick, if I may, just reminding everybody that this board continues to have jurisdiction, the matter was carried from October 23rd without further notice this evening. B, everything testified previously, made that a road, but then still on that. And C, I did ensure through certifications that all all 9 board members who are on the dais and one off are qualified to vote this evening, not only having been present for a large take of the last hearing, but also from prior hearings as well. But to the extent it might be arguable that they had to, they did, if they were not there present at the time. So they have all the last preliminary and final, as well as all the amendments thus far and the last meeting. So everyone is fully qualified, certified to vote for the record and the full complement of 9 votes. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
What's your highest recorded applicant number of deadline for the submission? We'll start at some.
814 is an error.
Correct, 14.
Right. All right, I have 813. What do you have this date?
14. So that one.
No, I have an extra being 813.
Yeah, we had 813 was colorized building 2.
Okay.
Now I know why people have trouble reading with the handwriting.
Okay, good.
So we're on page 14.
Great.
This one was,
You remain under oath.
Right.
Okay, and your license remains in good standing as an architect, in the state of New Jersey.
yes.
I'm not gonna take any more genetics lines.
So, Ms. Puma, since the last meeting, and I guess we can just show what's on the board right now. Basically, going left to right, we have what was originally approved by the board, what changed during resolution compliance as part of the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee review, which was part of our condition of approval. And then last on the right, we just, and that's the current version that we're seeking approval for this evening. Is that correct?
Yes.
So maybe with those sheets, I guess it's one is for Brook, one is for Mount Airy Road, and one is for 63 Bernards. So maybe we can have those 3 sheets marked A14, A15, and A16 with today's date of.
Both.
Let's just number in this sheet. With a number in this sheet.
Okay,
And the other ones are unchanged, so they're still.
correct.
Do you mind just refresh my recollection? The second one you said was based on the historical feedback. Why was the color change?
Between,
From 1 to 2, 2 to, I mean, 2 to 3 match, but 1 to 2, you added the blue.
from one to 2, so what you see in 1 was approved by the board, but part of the, approval was we had to meet with the historic commission and kind of work through the color selection for each of the buildings, so.
So the colors were selected in consultation with the HPC and they signed off on those plans. So maybe, as the chairman noted, as we kind of go through each sheet, just mark it and say out loud what we're marking it as.
Okay.
On what's marked as sheet A14, if you can just describe kind of what has changed since the last plan that was submitted.
So since the last plans of the year, nothing has changed on the sheet that's being the same. But for my worker.
Is there any changes to any dimensions or anything like that?
No. It was asked them at the last hearing that. The rear elevation for mine, so this is the elevation that faces the hillside.
We'll mark this A.
Another sheet.
Yeah, that's,
This is a new sheet, this will be a 15.
and what's the date of, is that 10 October 29th?
Yes,
So on A14, you're saying the stone facing, it's something, it's just the way you presented it before.
yeah.
On the 23rd.
Okay, it's no change, no change, no change, okay.
A15 is the rear elevation. Yeah.
Then go to A16.
A16 moves us to 18 Terry. And the same date. 10/29/25. This is building one, this is the building closest to Mount Airy Road. The only change from on this drawing as opposed to the last one was the colors of the shingles. Has to be weatherwood due to the material availability. The previous, I think, it's not available. So.
Speak up. For the recording, thing, just speak up.
The next sheet will be A17.
Mhm.
And this is another elevation. We want to keep this the altered color. That's it. This will be A18. This is building two, this is the building further into the lot. The only change here is the same thing, the weatherwood asphalt shingle color. No other changes. And then we're moving on to the 60-degree burn. So the A19. So a couple changes here, the green color for the vinyl siding was changed to a more green tone. The previous submitted color was a little darker and didn't match as well, so the previous historic commission coordinated. And then the other change was the same asphalt shingle was updated to be weatherwood as well, same as 18.
And they're 30-year panels.
Yes.
I think you said they're textured, or whatever they're multi-layer. Yeah.
We have the material board, if you'd like to see it.
And the last A1 is the other side of 63 runners.
And what side is that?
That's the side. Same thing, the green combination.
Is that the west side?
That's the.
North side?
North side. And then, sorry, one other thing, regarding 18 Mount Airy and the 60 figures, the solar. panels. So that was the other change.
Isn't that true of Weinberg as well?
Yes, except, you couldn't see it on the.
So as a result of, no longer proposing solar as part of it, the dormers that were previously removed are now back.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's important. That's the difference from what we saw.
Yes.
And then,
I'm sorry, but could we see the middle board, the same elevations? Yeah.
And the difference there being part of it is the lighter green.
Yes.
Maybe you could, we'll bring up the roof shingles material board for the board.
I think we're up to 821.
Yep.
Just transparent.
E21 is weatherwood, E22 is charcoal. So,
So this is the weathered wood. This is what's proposed on 18 Mount Airy and 63 Berners. And then this charcoal shingle is what's proposed on mine.
We ran out of black.
No.
Well, black is what you mean.
Charcoal.
we're gonna have charcoal.
Hot damn.
Was the original or mine, was it the original charcoal? So if you're just showing us.
You showing you.
It's not a change from the other ones, I think you said age,
This one changed from Appalachian Sky to
Appalachian Sky.
weathered,
Sorry, this one is,
weathered wood changed from Appalachian Sky.
Used to be Appalachian Sky, the previous, pretty small. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about this? It's Timberline HDX and so.
Yeah, they're three-dimensional shingles, 30-year warranty. Very common in residential construction. Widely used.
Would you like it passed around or?
No, it's maybe just do the thing, figure out somewhere to retain any extra, for repairs.
And from an environmental standpoint, are any concerns using these type of shingles? You mentioned they're commonly used.
No.
Well, the environmental commission, council did raise the issue as a comment that, the runoff from asphalt shingles actually is not environmentally conscious, and it throws off, I don't know if it was petroleum or whatever the products are in the shingles, and as I can pull it up on mine. They're petroleum based, so it throws off that and it goes into the waterway, which was their comment of concern with respect to the asphalt shingles.
Versus,
Understood, but
Versus the metal roof, which we originally approved.
correct, but there's no environmental regulation that prohibits the use of the shingles.
It's input from.
Understood. And then, Ms. Puma, you had, an opportunity to review the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee review letter.
Yes,
And also during this process, did you speak, with Mr. Lincoln?
I spoke with, we touched base, I sent him the updated elevations and then, he said he was reviewing them and then I saw the letter come on.
And there's really nothing to address. He didn't comment.
No, we didn't have a back and forth or he didn't have any questions for me.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, one question from the particular, before we leave the HVAC for like November 5th, 2025, for the record. The E requested language in the resolution, making it clear that future housing projects or other developments in the borough will not assume that vinyl siding is the norm acceptable. Frankly, from a legal perspective, this would be binding on the future Anyway, it's almost like asking for ice cream winter perhaps, but, sometimes people ask it, sometimes people get it. That ice cream winter, so would the applicant have any objection, should the board so desire, that have a condition in the resolutions, just reiterating, I believe to be the law anyway, that this is not precedential on future applications.
I wouldn't want it as a condition, but if you wanted it in their findings that they moved that, I wouldn't be opposed to it, and it's not impacting our project. I think it's better presented to the governing body on if you want to address that subject, it's better to address in regulations, so developers know when you're developing whether or not vinyl is accepted.
And I think that's a fair comment, and it's a condition, it can, and just turn it on, but it gets a little problematic. But if, should the board approve the applications, and should the board wish to have that in the findings, I think appropriate. I would agree the appropriate portion of the resolution would be in the findings. If it adds comfort to the board, rendering support. Recognizing it might be support. And the HPAC working to
Give samples of the vinyl and.
You like to see that?
Yeah. That's
Do you want to see all the colors or?
whatever you're using, this, I mean, the
There's
most,
a lot.
it's the same type of.
They all the same.
It's all the same, probably, pick the prettiest one. There's all that. And you don't have an example of the original.
I do.
Okay,
Yeah, matched up if, you know what, that'll make it easier.
okay. That'd be good before.
So just as a comment from the environmental council. The hardy plank had greater insulation. It was more energy efficient than vinyl. Oh, with the fact that it doesn't work and fade.
Okay.
You have to paint.
That's correct. You have to paint fiber cement.
I'll say, yeah.
You have to paint fiber cement after 15 years or
15
so,
years.
yeah. So this is the original gray slate.
So we'll mark that
Okay.
A22.
No, we're at 23.
I could say hardy gray slate,
Party bracelet.
gray slate.
Bracelet.
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 Or is it RD or Hardy?
Hardy.
Party.
Lauren.
And then the next exhibit could be a vinyl metropolitan gray.
What's the manufacturer for vinyl?
The vinyl is a Westlake Royal building product. So this is Westlake.
Do we see them?
And the vinyl metropolitan gray is H24.
They're not like. There's.
No, that was in the demonic.
Is there any normal insulation that goes under the siding, the vinyl siding that would
Yes,
store?
we have 1 inch of rigid foam under the vinyl insulation and all.
And that would not have been under this party
That would have been under the hood too.
as well.
That company, the vinyl company, offered insulated siding,
I don't,
like the styrofoam back one.
if it does, it's maybe a half an inch, not even, and it really is gonna. Yeah, it would be like maybe R1 and a half. For reference, the 1 inch of foam is like an R5.
What's the party bike car value website?
I don't know that exact value off the top of my head. I would say it's minimal though, at best,
Right, what?
minimal at best.
Is it irrelevant in the sense that whenever you've got insulating in your interior cavities, wall cavities, is that?
Yeah,
Or,
what we have in the wall cavity and that 1 inch of foam, whatever is outside of that is irrelevant, whether it's
inside the wall cavities or?
R21.
And then you have 1 inch of foam outside on the exterior of the wall that the hardy goes on top of.
Yes, that's.
So you're getting you're getting the R value from the 1 inch of insulation on the outside of the. And then your siding is going over that.
Yeah, but the inside, the interior of the walls, you are 20.
R21, yeah, that's like bat insulation.
Yeah.
So for the environmental committee's concerned, you're to the same place no matter what.
Yeah.
Part of, historically, I mean, that's more for the developer. It actually has greater insulation. The utility bills tend to go down if you, have hardy planters, so. Even versus, some mountains.
I can't.
Well, comments from the environmental committee.
Any other questions or architect over the changes in the materials? For the board?
You're doing vertical siding too, same company?
Same company, same color. Same,
There's no change to the, well, except for the fenestrate, the number of panels which you went through last time, the windows themselves stay the same.
they stay the
So
same, yeah.
you mentioned a few things, but that's the same from what you spoke of before, that's carried forward into these
Yes.
latest drawings, no change. Any other questions? Nothing, we've seen nothing, so we can have the public, if you have questions for these.
So it's just a request, right, to do with as you may understand. But I think the concern and the consensus was, the long-term quality and how the building is done. So the thought was if the owners of the building work with the town, I'm just concerned that that front building on Mount Airy is probably the most prominent of all the community gets the highest amount of foot traffic, road traffic. People will be stuck at that light and look at it on a constant basis. If it is all possible, we would be greatly appreciated by myself as an individual, as a board member, if we could figure out how to get back to that higher quality siding at least for that building. I just think that's a prominent building in town. There's another development that's supposed to be in front of it, that's supposed to be a higher quality. There's a long-term goal to make the downtown of a different standard or centerpiece. And it would really be a shame to cut a corner or to value engineer. I understand what we're doing. We're making it the best we can with limited resources. But I think that would go a long way to make everyone a little bit more comfortable with these changes.
I will bring that message along. I would just ask maybe in the resolution, should they agree to do that, that we don't have to come back for a change.
If we got a verbal that was committed, we would put that in the resolution probably happen. That the version wherever that was approved by the historic side back then. And it's just the side. not necessarily. Just for
You
that.
can write
for that
something
purpose.
in that says if their option, if they decide to revert the materials to the originally proposed materials. For
For
me,
that
the
front
project,
building of.
that that's included in the
That's
resolution.
included in the resolution, you don't have to come back.
Correct, yeah.
That, Steve, you got that, basically, okay, that'll cover the base.
That makes sense.
Yeah, understood. I get you.
Okay,
Trying to see.
so for this witness, is there anyone in the public that has questions for this witness, which is different than comments, it's questions? So, Mike,
Which, that elevation, I can describe it, but is it, I guess that would be, is that east? I'm sorry, is that west or? It's from the front door. Yeah, but I'm saying.
building
It's facing
it's facing south,
Oh, I'm sorry, front building is facing south.
yeah,
on Mount Airy.
On Mount Airy.
it runs along the track.
We'll find
I thought that was the west side.
We'll clean up your notes.
Closest to the road.
When you're driving into
Oh, I know.
town, you're driving into town, you're driving north. So when you look at that building, you're looking at its south elevation.
Oh, coming up on it that way, I'm thinking, okay,
And
fine, got it.
closer. Okay, no questions from the public. I'm sorry I did not ask the professionals if they had any specific questions for this witness. Okay.
I have no further witnesses.
Then,
With no further witnesses, we can go to public comment. Is there anyone that in the public that would like to comment on this application? So it'll be, if so, come on, you'll be sworn and you can make a comment. See none.
Take that in the science, summation, read.
But I have two questions, because and they're trying to be clear and helpful. One of them is, as I mentioned, does the building. Our presumption is that the building units are separately electrically metered, that there's a meter for each unit.
Yes, that's correct.
That is accurate, so it gets located somewhere at your, whatever you work out with the engineers, okay. I was wondering in the context of the original one that had the revised one that had solar, but as long as we're reverting back to their metered.
They are, yes.
That's fine.
As originally shown.
Another comment, hopefully helpful, you got a lot of fill, dirt, whatever, Lime Brook. Tons of it, some of it'll be needed to backfill the wall. Have you thought about how to dispose of the fill or the way?
I personally have not,
Oh, yeah, right.
but I'm sure.
I guess I'd like to suggest there are locations in Bernardsville that need fill like that, like on 202, they're trying to fill. And maybe work with your partner, the council to see. If they could facilitate or locate something that might actually, be closer and whatever, it might be more optimal for you, just as a thought. Cause of a lot of it. So.
Understood.
Any, this discussion? We can have our discussion.
yeah, I'm not, like.
No, I have nothing to really add. I could say, this, RPM has been working with the town for a long time on this project. Kind of taken a long time to get here, but the project under construction, they're very excited about it, very excited to be in Bernardsville and look to continue to work with the borough and seeing the project's success.
And then, as the board knows, it's an amended approval with respect to each of the three separate sites, all of which are one consolidated project, if you will, for the third round obligation, affordable housing in the borough. So it's amended approval, no deviations, no variance from the redevelopment plan and deviations, et cetera. Just the amended preliminary and final course, site plan approval for each of the three, correct, Council?
Correct.
I had one other question, just for the public, is the digging, is the excavation at Minebrook complete? Or is it fully dug out, or is there still more? I mean, there's a lot of dirt.
I can check, if you give me 1 second, we did look at it, I think it's close.
I get it, Zach.
We don't have a real. It's.
I proffer that, there's a pole on the property that has to be removed.
Okay,
So it will be probably another couple of weeks.
but that
before-
pole, that's the pole, right?
Correct.
Okay, but in terms of excavating into the hillside or whatever, you hit the distances or specs.
I believe so.
Not just the poles. I didn't mean it that way. Yeah, okay. You're not gonna blast the pole. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Any discussion then?
I agree with Joe's, Mr. DeMarco's comments, the main thoroughfare to the town. So, yeah, visual appearance is important.
You put a, on that one, is there a monument? That you have? There is, the other ones I think have signs or monument, just fabric, you know.
They
pure-
do,
It does have a monument sign,
I guess
7.5 by 4.5.
the key point is that really is, like, a lot of people, just like Joe said, are gonna be sitting in traffic,
I'm sat there
looking at
plenty of
that,
time.
and it's an opportunity to shine, so. Okay, any other comments?
Which can make a motion. You take one for all three? We, you know, we did keep them as three separate sites, although they're one project, so.
We did do 3.
Resolutions.
Yeah, we do it, so we should have three votes, I mean.
I would keep it consistent on.
Yeah.
Which ones are through. The file phase.
So, well, let's see, Minebrook Road application first.
So I would move to accept the changes as presented tonight. There. With regards to the Minebrook Road, with regards to interior. Some of the designs. I'm good to approve that.
And granting amended preliminary and final site plan approval. With the conditions stipulated to.
Yes.
Second,
I have one little comment, and that is the address, like the number, the street number of Minebrook. Can you make sure that we get the right one and that it's there, you know, in the doc, as opposed to just, it's Minebrook.
163 Minebrook.
Yeah, but I knew I saw a number.
Okay. I've seen a lot of numbers, okay, so can you just make sure that that's what's there, it's accurate? Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion and a second, right? So roll call.
Yes.
Ms. Keller,
Yes.
Mr. Graham,
Yes.
Mr. Melia,
yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Plasko,
Yes.
Mr. Sima,
Yes.
Mr. Walden,
Yeah.
and Mr. Cosarino.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Board Member DeMarco, you're hot.
Oh. I would move to,
If in an area.
approve the preliminary site plan application as amended. State with the presentation with regards to material changes for 18 Mount Airy Road, block 124, lot 1, subject to possible hopeful for consideration. It could revert back to the original approval for the front grade. That the number. Yes, it is. I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. DeMarco.
Yes.
Excuse me, Ms. Geller,
Yes.
Mr. Graham.
Yes.
Mr. Melia,
Yes.
Mr. Morrison,
Yes.
Mr. Plasko,
Yes.
Mr. Sima,
Yeah.
Mr. Walden,
Yeah.
and Mr. Cosarino.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Number 3,
for 63 Bernards Avenue, lot 102, lot 23. I would move approval of the amended preliminary and site plan approval with regards to the presentation made at the hearings, with regards to the material and activities.
I'll second that again.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. DeMarco?
Yeah.
Ms. Geller?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Malia?
Yes.
Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes.
Demo?
Yes.
Mr. Walden?
Yeah.
And Mr. Zazarino?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Makes me feel.
So, okay, Joe. No, that's good. So,
David and Bill.
Denise, but any of the old, let's see, and go things in common.
I'm sorry, Chairman?
Were any of these carryovers? Or did we approve everything? These came-
Based on what they received, and I didn't put it as a last name. They missed one meeting, and then there were others that came subsequently, and I.
The disappointing is that we ever seen these guys before.
So,
We knew that. Any,
Motion to approve the bills of listed. 10,745 and then.
I'll second it.
Mr. DeMarco?
Yeah.
Ms. Geller?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Malia?
Yeah, please believe those two, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes.
Mr. Demo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mr. Zazarino?
Yes. So it's just the new one coming in for hands. So we have a board review pending in the works for Bistro 73. This is, that's not their address, they're 73. But this is the building next to them, it's part of the building next to them, or like the Tuckman is, and it's interesting because there are other tenants, so it's gonna be interesting, plus I guess the other thing is, who knows what parking requirements are gonna exist anymore, for them, so. So anyway, we'll see. It's, good when they're successful. We had with 73, we had an occupancy arrangement where they were allowed a certain number of tables or people, whatever, but they could move a portion of them to the outside, but they had to shut down a piece of the inside.
Into the glass portion.
Yeah, and, well, it just, that'll come up again, some kind of discussion about the floors and I'm saying something. So this
Fine, sit it there.
Granny, yeah. Okay. Visitors and visitors, anyone here to chat about anything else? No questions, okay, it's, I think all there is, unless anyone has any other concern or comment?
To the best you could, yes, that was very